I'll walk you guys through an example on how to use it on hips, attic trusses, monos, girders, flat trusses. And then you're also going to see that I have a couple of span tools in here, and I'll show you how that works here in just a second. This will be able to do 70 to 80% of your single-family residential homes. It's based off of standard loading conditions. When you get into certain areas that have huge snow loads, you'll have to calculate that into your top cord loading, because I have it calculating up to 50 pounds on your top cord load. But on floor trusses, they're the standard 40-10-5 L over 480. It isn't, I don't have anything built in here for special loading, for gypcrete or anything like that. Single family homes, townhomes it works great on, apartment complexes, if you don't have gypcrete, it works outstanding on most of those. So that's the upside to it and the downside to it. If you have a particularly cut up home, it will not work. And that's something that'll have to be run through my tech. To do a floor system, let's say that we were going to do a second floor here, and we're going to put in floor trusses through this area. I have two tools. Whatever you see a segment here, this is an individual floor truss that you're putting in. The joist tool here that you'll see that says a floor truss span tool, how you can put in a whole floor system once you have it scaled. Like here, first thing that you want to do is come in and you want to name the folder on which you want your floor trusses to go into. It's very important that you separate roofs and floors, and I'll show you why here in just a second. What you have the opportunity of doing is coming through here and setting the depth of the floor truss. Like if we want 16-inch deep floor trusses, this program also is only as good as the designer that you have using it. If you want various spacing through here, you can do it that way as well. And then whether or not you want a double top, double bottom, however you want to do that on your top cord and bottom cord. To put in a floor system, all you need to do is basically map out the area that you want to put in. The other thing that I want to make sure that I tell you is that it rounds the trusses to the nearest foot. It looks for a base span, and that is how it works. Once you have your area mapped out, hit stop. Now you have an entire area marked that we're going to put floor trusses in this area. I can draw my joist rafters, and this is nothing more than telling it the direction of the floor trusses. Then you'll see it come in, and it'll tell you how many trusses you have at what span, what base span. Now, in a situation like this, what you're going to do is you're basically going to have, we're going to replace this truss with a girder, and more than likely we'll throw in another girder here. But the first thing that I'm going to do is once you have your area, we don't want to put floor trusses over the stairwell. So I'm going to pick my area again, and I'm going to split the rafters from here to here. And then what that's successfully done is now broken that floor truss at that point. I can highlight them, delete them, and then you'll see that it's updated everything through here. I can regenerate total, and then I've still got one 4-footer in here somewhere, and I can delete that. Now this floor truss here, I may want to make that a girder. So what I'm going to do then is I am going to put in a floor truss. I think we got them 16 inches deep. And I want to make it a 2-ply with a double top, and this is and a double bottom. And this is something that, like I said, it's only as good as the designer that you have. And I'm just going to set it in right alongside this one, that I can highlight that, I can delete it, and then I can literally move this down. I'm going to move it down six inches. And then I'll do the same thing with this one. I'm going to put in a 16-inch 2-ply. Going to do a double top, double bottom. I'm going to come in right next to it and draw it out. And then I can get rid of the old one. I can click on it, regenerate my total, and that's going to tell you how many regular trusses that I have. Then I'm going to put in one more. Girder to box out that stairwell. I'm going to run it from this one down to this one. Now, the one thing you will see is on the end walls, the program will not put a gable on there. That's something that PlanSwift hasn't been able to figure out, so that's why I've got a floor gable in here. That I can add my gables. And that's your floor system for that. What you'll see when you come to your estimating tab, you'll see your floors, and you'll see all of this nomenclature here, that you want to make sure that you're clicked on the floor truss estimating tab, because this is the nomenclature that you need. Quantity, plies, depth, span, top chord and bottom chord plies, and you see everything that we put in there. When you go to your reports tab, you're going to see the floors in here. This is exactly what we want. We can export this. You export the floor information, and then your Excel sheet's going to come up. It'll look like this. Now you're going to see the little arrows up here in the upper corner. PlanSwift has not been able to figure out why it does that, but it does it. Click on the first one, highlight to the other box, and say convert to a number. And then you can take this information, copy it. We had opened up the template before. If you go to the floor input template page, go to your upper box where it says input, right click and paste values. And what it will do is it will input in all of that information that we just put into PlanSwift. All of these trusses and all of this information now is right here. It calculates out the board footage, the total board footage for all of those spans, for all of the different trusses. Once we have all of your facility information in here, you're with your lumber prices, based upon the aggregate percentages that your facility uses, it will give you an approximate lumber plate and labor cost based off of the complexity-based pricing. And I'll go over this here with you. The lumber comes off the facility information. Plate cost is currently at 8 cents a board foot. The labor cost is based off your production labor right here. Whatever your plant is running for your facility, that let's say you're running 18 cents a board foot, it will calculate out the labor cost per truss. If your facility overhead, anything that's shaded in is an automatic calculation. Everything that's in white you can modify. Like if your facility overhead was 3 cents a board foot, and this should come directly off your P&Ls that you can put in here. Whatever your admin costs are, whatever your technical costs, sales, and occupancy costs are. Those you can modify right in here, and this is kind of like a mini pricing template, and it'll give you a net profit percentage. The transportation automatically calculates your price per board foot is how I have it right now, and this is all, if your loaded mile is only $3.25 a loaded mile, and it's going 50 miles, you'll see that transportation costs change there. I have it as a minimum of $150 delivery charge. And I can, if you guys need me to update a template for you or walk you through how to update a template, that's easy to do for you. And then you have your net profit in dollars, net profit percentage, and your sell price per board foot right here. Your margin, you can change that to whatever you want, and it modifies everything. That's for floors. Then what you'll see on your floor estimate, that all of that information's in here. And what you can do is erase the other lines that you don't need. You can delete them.